taking India again as an example, if you look at like distribution, about
Hmm.
70% live in rural areas and 25 to 27% live in actual pure urban areas like metropolitan cities.
Hmm.
And in that, if you look at the rural population, they don't have too much money, so you can't really tax them.
Okay.
Okay, I'll not take money from you, says the government to the poor people. Then we have the extremely rich people living in metropolitan cities who have enough ego to destroy the entire planet. They say, if you take money from me, I'll go to a different country and start production there. Okay, you can't take money from us. Remains 70% of the population in this, like India, which makes just enough to tax them and just less than becoming an actual entrepreneur and going outside India. You take as much money from them as possible, which is what's happening to the middle caste. I just said the three castes right now: the rich people, the middle classes, and the lower classes. Rich people just go out of India if they are being taxed too much. Okay, loss
हम
of
विजय
income.
माल्या हम
Okay, that's too much.
Yeah, sorry, sorry,
Anyways,
sorry. Continue, continue.
then the poor people, you can't really tax them because they don't have money. You
Hmm.
even if you tax them, they will have even less money. So the only class that remains is the middle class. So you tax as much as you want from them, which is a problem. If those middle classes go outside, which they can't because they don't have enough funds to set up outside India,
Hmm.
but not so less funds that you can't tax them, they are just in a paradoxical situation. You need to tax them to continue the country, but if you don't tax them, nothing will work.
I just had a school inside. I'm currently reading economics, ठीक है, Adam Smith, ठीक है. So what you have in that is corporations, basically how corporations work and everything related to those. Now, what an ideal corporate guy wants, unless you are Ratan Tata, which is yes,
Rest in peace.
respect for Ratan Tata, but unless you are like Ratan Tata, you are just some normal corporate guy. What are you
Yeah,
trying to do? Technically, as we all know, when there's a group that is trying to work on a project and then give an output which they are going to sell to the society, the ideal situation is कि जो भी पैसा उधर से आ रहा है, you are getting that money back as workers. तुम्हें खुद को मिल रहा है वो. Yeah, because it's your effort. But if that happens, if the worker in India or in anywhere in the world gets all the money that he deserves, then there can be no corporations because then the actual guy who led all of this will not get anything. Who owns all of this will
yes.
get nothing. And the situations are such कि average क्या बोलते हैं humans, average males, middle classes, they do not have
Hmm.
they do not have enough monies to actually set up institutions on themselves by themselves, right? So
Yeah,
this is the guy who will, so if you're entering the job market, you have to know that you'll always be underpaid because the money that you'll be creating will never be going to you, because if it does, then there will be no profits for the company.
yeah.
Isn't this so? Like what the basic corporate
It's
guy
not
or
exactly the company, it's the shareholders, which are the account.
shareholders, yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah,
wait a minute. You,
that's
you
what I meant
complete
by
the
the
sentence.
company.
I'll go into that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the top people ideally want a situation where they can exploit the workers as much as possible, where they are just providing enough to them so that they are not starving because they want those workers, but they are not providing so much कि they are good by themselves and they can leave the company.
Yeah,
Basically, like being parasites, right? Isn't this the same as what the government is doing right now? Because the very well off, they
you
know,
could
will
say
be
that.
running off, the poor will be starving, but this you have got these people, middle class, where you can just exploit them, free money. Isn't that what
Yeah,
Sitaraman just did this year? She just increased the taxes on middle
she
class
tried
so
to
that
change
now we
the
are
yeah
suffering.
she tried to change the tax brackets, which did
Hmm.
not really work out.
Yeah.